Hello everyone. So today I'm going to use the 90s tag. Now if you don't know, which you don't because I didn't tell you, I was born in the 90s. That year would be... Sorry. So anyway, I was born in the 90s. I don't remember everything from the 90s, but I think I'm qualified to do this tag. So let's get started. I didn't really have like a favorite TV show growing up. Like I just watched mainly cartoons, and they would just be like what was on. But I think I remembered like shows like Hey Arnold and Rugrats and Rocket Power and Doug. But those are the shows that come to my mind. So I didn't really have like a favorite one. Those are just the ones I remember the most. Favorite 90s song? Yeah, like that one. I didn't really have one. There's a lot of songs that I remember from that time, but like I didn't like have a favorite because, you know, at that point in time I was still very young, so I didn't really have like a way to get a favorite song. I don't know if that makes sense, but now of course I have like a bunch of favorite songs, but now I'm aware of it. This is not a real commercial, but I remember there was this commercial for Nickelodeon when they had like their little kids spoof stuff that they would do on, I think it was All That or one of their shows. Does anybody remember that? I'm sorry, but I'm laughing just thinking about it, but does anybody remember the Scream in the Box commercial? Because that's the one that made me laugh when I was younger. That's the one that sticks out the most. I don't really remember. Actually, you know what? I remember this other commercial. I don't know why they don't do this anymore, but does anyone remember those shopping sprees? Like, you know, they would send the kids into the store, like Toys R Us or something, and they would give them, like, oh, you have this much time to grab everything you can as fast as you can. I need to look that up, but that's one commercial I remember too. That was a real one. Not like the Scream in a Box. Oh. Now let's see, like I like their music. I like both NSYNC and Backstreet Boys music. I think they both have catchy songs. Even some of the new Backstreet stuff, some of them are catchy. But I'd have to say NSYNC only because I didn't know too much about Backstreet Boys, and my sister had a poster of NSYNC in her room, so like that was the band that like I was more familiar with. So I'm gonna go with NSYNC. Favorite music artist? Like I said before, I don't remember much, so I can't really answer that question. I don't really collect anything back then. I didn't really know Tamagotchis existed back then, to be honest. Like, I didn't even hear the word until recently, to the last few years, so that would be a no. Oh, favorite video game. The first video game I ever played was the third Spyro game. So Spyro is like very special to me. Like I named my dog after one of the characters. I think it's going to be interesting to see the game like rebooted in a few months. That's going to be really interesting to see. Like the new graphics and stuff. But enough about Spyro. I picked Spyro on PlayStation. That's my answer for that one. Like, I don't really remember getting toys in my cereal when I was growing up. But I will say that the cereal I remember the most, and I think was my favorite, was probably Trix, I think? Yeah, I'm just gonna go with Trix cereal. 90s crush, oh my god. I don't really have one. The movie that stands out to me the most, and I think I enjoyed a lot, was Xenon. Okay, now I answered this already, but this one is like Disney Nick or Nickelodeon. Like, I guess the other one was supposed to be other networks. But you know what? I did really enjoy watching the So Weird when I was younger. Like, it scared me, but, you know, it was kind of interesting to watch. And I think I don't know if it's still on YouTube, but it was a pretty good show. But the one episode that made me feel really uncomfortable was the one with the boy who he was hanging on to like some kind of rope. He was climbing. I forgot what episode this was. He was climbing and then he fell off from like this huge rope that was like between these 2 points overhead. My sister, she liked Are You Afraid of the Dark, but that show was too scary for me. Yeah, I don't really remember any fashion trends back then. I used to play with Barbies when I was little. And I thought they were fun. I also used to play with Play-Doh. I always used to get so upset when I didn't have like the whole Play-Doh set because I wanted to have so many colors to make stuff with. But I never got that. There's just something so relaxing about Play-Doh. Just forming stuff. I used to have like this ice cream serve thing for Play-Doh. Like you put it in, you crank it around and it comes up with like the soft serve shape. Actually, I used to watch all 3, but I'm gonna have to go with Disney because that's the one I watched the most growing up. I would watch Nickelodeon on and off, but you know, Disney, I remember watching more. Like I said, cartoons. Hey Arnold. Was it on in the morning? I can't remember, but it must have been because I think I remember watching cartoons. I think it was Rocket Power that was on in the morning, but I can't be sure. But, the Furby. No, I'm kidding. Furbies are scary. I don't remember McDonald's toys, to be honest. Yeah, I don't have an answer to that. Sorry. I can't remember because this was like 100 years ago, but I can't remember. I think maybe it was probably a cartoon. Maybe it was Hey Arnold or something. That's all I remember. I mean, is there anything really worth missing from the 90s? Like, everything has been upgraded. Like, you guys remember those hard drive discs? It was like a little square shape that you would put into the slot of your computer. And I guess it was like the old version of like a USB or something. I never understood how it worked because by the time I started using computers more, like, they started to have different technology. Well, this was something, wasn't it? I spent like this whole time just giving you guys like, I don't know. I'm sorry. But the 90s was an interesting period, I think. Like, without it, you know, I would not be here. Or I would be here, but I would just be born at a different time. That made no sense. So yeah, thank you guys for watching. I hope you're doing good, and I will see you next time. Bye!